Hello, today I'm going to be demoing the Krasnogorsk 3, or what you will also hear this be called is the Russian K3. Now, this is a reflex camera, meaning that whatever you see through the viewfinder is what's coming through the lens. Now, this is a pretty easy camera to learn. Pretty much here is your winder, which pull that out and wind it like that. Here's your frame counter, which pretty much you have 32 frames, 48, 24, 16, 12, and 8. And then we're going to want to ignore that dial that doesn't really apply to us. And here is our lens. Now, since this is a Soviet camera, it is in metric units, meaning the focusing up here is in meters instead of inches. So make sure you make that conversion when you're shooting with this camera. Moving to the back, you have your aperture control, which is basically the same as any other aperture control. And then you have your zoom control right here, which basically works like any other zoom. This is a 17 to 69 lens, and this is in feet. Now, moving on to actually loading this camera. This is fairly simple. We're going to want to put it on the side and lift up this little latch and then turn it, lift up, and you're going to want to make sure that you have a take-up spool right here. We're going to put that right here for right now. And you want to take your roll of film. Of course, whenever you're loading this, you want to make sure that you're doing this in complete darkness, or else you're going to ruin your film. Now, what we're going to want to do is remove our pressure plate, which just lift up right here, set that off to the side, and then we're going to want to put in our film. Now, just slot that in, should just drop in when you get it right. And we're going to want to just feed our film into this bit right here. Might take a little bit to get right, but eventually you'll get it. And looks like we got that done. You want to make sure that when you do that, you're going to want to have enough. You want to have a loop right here. And then I'm just going to roll this a little bit. Make sure we have some film on the other side. From here, you can put back your pressure plate. Make sure that you have the registration pin making contact with the perforations, or else you will have issues with the registration, and that will not be good. So when you have that down, you're going to put your pressure plate back. Should just slide into place when you get it right. There we go. And we can just roll this a little bit to get some film. And then, like the other side, we're going to just put that into slot right there. And then should get to a point where you have enough film to put onto the take-up reel. Now, we're going to want to put this end of the film into the little slot on this take-up reel, and you're going to want to make it so that it has enough to grab onto it and not just fall off when you start rolling it. So this can be a little bit tricky, like I'm dealing with right now, but eventually you will get it. So there we go. We got that down. And then once you get this into the right position, it should just drop in. And then we can put our side cover back on. And then to roll it, you have a little button right here. And that will roll the camera. All right. That's pretty much the basics of how to use the Krasnogorsk 3 or the Russian K3. Thank you.